to a crazy actual racism for once. And people saw this and they said, like, oh, they see this guy's walking back his words, and they figured that he was, full of it because of it. But what actually happened is this Brazilian soccer player named Vinicius, he goes by. He plays for one of the best teams in Spain, Real Madrid, and he was playing in Valencia, which is also in Spain, and they were chanting "Die Vinicius, die," and they were chanting "monkey" at him. And we'll see if this works. There he is. He's crying on the field a little bit, and so they were lambasting him with insults the entire game. As you can see, it says Vinicius die. He's arguing with fans. He was arguing with the other players, and it's about to show up here. Nice music here. Before they get to the racism, he's fighting with all the other team. There they are. So they literally chanted "monkey" at him, Eric, which is crazy, but it does happen in soccer. But basically, the entire stadium was chanting "monkey" at this guy. So somebody who plays for the other team, who's actually a USA soccer player, I forget his name here. This guy, his name is Yunus Musa. He's born in Africa, but plays for USA because it's easier to get on the USA team, probably. And he comes out and he's just like, yeah, that was terrible. We shouldn't have done that. Here he says, I was quite far away from where the incident started because there was a group of fans next to him behind our goal. But little did I know, the whole stadium was chanting against him. And it's quite sad to see the stadium being at its loudest and the chants against somebody was being racially abused. So he's like, the whole stadium was being racist to him. It's pretty weird to see. And then he gets backlash for that, Eric. So then he comes out and changes. Like he said, honestly, I wasn't shocked. That was a big headline. He wasn't shocked because there's racism that happens around the league everywhere. And even though he said here, not in our stadium, but around the rest of the league, he still had to come out and say that he didn't actually mean that. So even though he said the entire stadium was chanting at him, he just said, "Oh, there must have been a miscommunication. I only meant a few people."
Wait. I'm confused. Why was he facing backlash? I don't.
Because he pointed out that the entire stadium was making racist chants against this guy, and
Yeah,
he
but
plays for that team. He plays for the team whose fans were being racist to the other guy.
okay. Well, so his um, he plays for Team USA. Oh, this
Yes,
is
but he
very
also plays
confusing.
for a Spanish team.
Okay. All right. Now, all right. So, because I'm curious as to why he would face backlash, because typically, like when somebody calls racism, they love it. They clap
Yeah,
like seals.
if he came to play for the US like domestically in the MLS, he'd be given a parade, I think. But so he said that, oh no, actually not all the fans are racist. It was only a few fans. So there's that problem. Little did I know that what ended up happening. Here's his like Twitter apology that he came out with. I want to clarify there was actually only a few people. I didn't actually say what I said. Together against racism at the bottom here. Um Little did I later learn that because it's Spain and they do not have freedom of speech, they arrested 7 people. So 4 people they arrested, I believe, 3 or 4 at the stadium. They were arrested for hate speech. Basically, it was some weird like crime. Let me look it up for you guys so I get the actual arrested on suspicion of being involved in the racist abuse in Spain because they have no freedom of speech protection. So suspended for or arrested for being mean, banned from the stadium. I mean, they're wrong for being racist, obviously, but they're basically arrested for being mean. And then Eric, where it gets a bit weirder is that they went back. We don't need the music this time. They went back to January, where 3 guys got arrested. Like they arrested guys for what they did in January, and what they did was they hung a mannequin with the guy's jersey on it from a bridge. So they were metaphorically lynching this guy in the streets, or in effigy, I believe it's called. And to make a point, I guess, they retroactively charged these guys with a hate crime. 3 guys for hanging this from a bridge, and it doesn't even stop there. So what Brazil did, the Brazilian team, get out of here, Twitter. The Brazilian team wore black at a international event because they wanted to say, "Hey, we're standing up for racism," like you would do, right?
You're
And
standing for racism, against
against
racism.
it, you know. So this guy, the guy who had the chance against him, Vinicius, said, "While I was playing with the already historic black shirt and getting emotional, my friend was humiliated and mocked at the entrance to the stadium." And so he had some friend of his that's known backstage at the game where they played in the black shirts to stand against racism. And what actually happened here, Eric? And I'm laughing, but it's crazy. A security guard pulls a banana on the friend and says, "This is my gun, and this one's for you." So this is the Portuguese or Spanish report of the incident that happened backstage at this international friendly soccer game. And here's the guy, the friend, yelling at the security guard because he whipped out a banana at him and said that, "Hands up, this is my gun for you." So pretending to use a banana as a gun in some sort of racial slur manner. Now, I don't know how easy that is to believe,
This is
but it's the most wild story. Here's the translation of the tweet. His advisor and friend Felipe Silva was arriving for the friendly match between Brazil and Guinea in Barcelona, Spain, when he was approached by a security guard who pulled a banana out of his pocket and reportedly said, "Hands up! This one is my pistol for you." And now we're here, Eric.
okay.
This is so wild to pull out a banana at somebody. Come on,
No,
not funny.
this is well, this is stupid because there's a couple things here. First of all, I think the obvious question is there's no other black players on the team. Why is he being targeted? What happened?
There is.
So
That's a
so why is so why
Eric's
is he
asking the real questions here. There's tons of black players in Spain.
yeah, so is he him? Is he that dude? Is he that nice? He's the villain. He's the guy who's always coming to town and kicking the crap out of you. Why is he being
We're going to
targeted?
play good cop, bad cop here. The players and some of the coaches say that the entire league the fans are constantly being racist towards black players.
But okay, but so if they are
Why is
targeting him,
Edgeworth
yeah,
popular?
they're targeting him specifically in this case. For what reason? If he's not the only black player.
I think what it is that he plays for the best team, if not the top two teams, and his the other guy there came out and commented on it, and he's American, so that gets a little bit more international play. And I don't know if I've ever seen that many people chanting racist things in one of the bigger leagues.
Okay.
Like some players will be racist to each other. Like we mentioned off air, like the Greek league and the Ukrainians league, very racist stuff happens there. But in a league this big, I don't think it's ever gotten this much, airtime.
Okay. And then secondly, this uh I mean it's really not a big deal. Like who bro. First of all, if
A
they're targeting
stadium chanting at you?
bro,
Could you
you
imagine if that happened
what
here?
are the
Imagine.
but okay, what are the I don't know much about these, this league or whatever. Um first of all, I've been so jaded, right? Because we hear the racism every single day ad nauseum. So when it actually happens, you guys have taken all the air out of it. It doesn't matter because you did it.
True.
And look, that's on us, right? Like that's at least as Americans or Canadians or maybe Brits or what, the Western world. I don't know
Hmm.
exactly what their woke ideologies are like in Central and South America, but whoever's in charge here, the people behind the curtain, whether it's the Human Rights Campaign or the ACLU or the World Economic, whatever it is, you guys have taken all the air out of it. So that's why I do not care. Okay, because you made it that way. You did it. You desensitized us to this by doing it every single day. And lastly, toughen up, bro. Stop crying. I look. I don't want to sound rude, but like you're probably doing pretty well. You're making a good living, doing what you love. Those
True.
people are probably jealous. They're up there drunk in the stands. They got to go back to work in the morning. They got to go back to their cheating wives or whatever it is. You're probably doing just fine. Yeah, people are mean to you. I mean, give him the thing, pull like whatever, bro. Like like pull a Russell Westbrook and or even a Kyrie. Kyrie would give people the finger on the side, or like stop acting like a weenie, bro. You're gonna stand there and cry. You're sort of perpetuating the stereotype of like a little pansy soccer player writhing around on the ground, and it just doesn't move the needle for me, bro.
The emotional needle. It's tough to get, Eric. It has to be something Rick Ross related, I think,
I
which we'll
will
get to later.
if you have a moment, I think there was a headline about Mexican soccer fans doing something anti-LGBTQ. I don't know if, since we're not live, we can see if I don't even know like what you would type in. Maybe I could try it
Mexican
on.
soccer LGBT. Explaining the homophobic chant.
There we go. Same come up pretty simple, right?
Yeah, it's easy to search these things these days. Explaining the homophobic chant that is Mexico's soccer federation in hot water with FIFA. I mean, the idea that FIFA has any ground, like we go into a country, force your taxpayers to pay for stadiums, and then abandon them and leave you poor. Like what they did to Brazil, they build like 3 stadiums in the literal jungle, kick people out of their homes to do it, and then abandon the stadiums never to be used again. Same thing with the Olympics. That's why most of the Olympics and World Cups only happen in pretty corrupt countries these days: China, Russia, Brazil, because people are just like, this costs us a ton of money and it doesn't do us any good except for having like 6 weeks of fame,
Is the
basically.
little like burner cities, little throwaway cities that they sort of build up and then allow them to collapse. And look,
Yep.
I don't know that I don't. That's news to me. It makes a lot of sense though. That I don't. I will. As an American, I know nothing about soccer, but um, I think
Where
I
are they
guess
chanting?
I don't even know what they're chanting, but I think the point I'm trying to make here, without even knowing it, just shooting from the hip and seeing the headline without reading the article, is
Mm-hmm.
that I can assume I don't care about this, so I also don't care about that. It's just like, dude, sports. Didn't the great Nancy Pelosi once say, people are gonna do what they do. Who cares?
We're 4 paragraphs in here and we still haven't heard what it is.
There
Something
it
about
is. Oh,
empowering.
well,
Did you see it?
well, no, you saw the headline, the big header, the big section. It said, "What is the chant?" It was right at the bottom
Oh,
when you were scrolling.
you really showed me. And now the page is just like, hey, I don't want to work anymore. Don't you want these scores for MLS? You like how they buried it all the way down here, though?
Kind of like the Washington Post did the Target threats.
Yeah, exactly. In practice, believed to have started among fans in the early 2000s. One outlet highlights
So this has
2004
been
Olympic
happening for
qualifier.
23 years. And is that what I'm
Homophobic
understanding?
slur. I don't know what that could be. Roughly trans to gay prostitute. Okay.
Oh, I think
You're
I do.
calling a guy gay when
Okay.
an opposing goalkeeper passes the ball into play on a goal kick. Chant is supposedly meant to intimidate the keeper and the opposing team. So they don't like it that the keeper is passing it, making a short pass to one of his players instead of kicking it all the way down. Oh,
Okay.
I see what it is now.
Turn it up, Jordan.